I wanna be rich.
Karibuni to the Tumesota podcast episode 2. Gosh, I can't believe we're already on episode 2 on the way to 1,000.
Amen.
So, it's me again, Amira, your favorite impulsive spender, and from wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Google Podcast or YouTube, thank you so much. We need all the listeners we can get. Follow us for more content at the Tumesota podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Once again, it's me, Amira, your favorite impulsive spender.
Abigail, the disobedient budgeter.
And Pauline, the indecisive saver. Tumesota, lakini.
Tunaomoka.
So, as we start this episode 2, we just wanted to introduce a new segment called Tumejam. And Tumejam means we are angry in Swahili. It's actually slang, Swahili slang. So we just want to let out the frustrations before we start this episode. So I don't know who we'll start with. Let's start with Abi, because Amira's truth jamming meter will go to like red on the other side. So Abi can start, then Amira can kick us off.
Least angry to most angry. Least jamming to most jamming.
Okay, this week, what has made me jam? I think, us as a group, by the way, we are a lot. Girls, we are a lot. Because by the time one person is here, like we always just, when one person goes down, the other one comes back. The other one goes, it's just a lot.
I'm waiting for the shade.
There's no shade.
Oh, okay.
I'm not throwing shade.
Oh,
Okay, that's it. Okay.
So you're jamming about the fact that we are a lot. Oh.
We are a lot.
Hey, okay, Pauline. That was very modest, Pauline.
I'm jamming this week about trying to get for our viewers these t-shirts. Okay, the one's supposed to look like this. Let me tell you the kind of plan we had.
And still have.
Just know that we know and the Lord knows, because we are planning to Waweru. But because Kenya is Kenya, our dealer decided that she'll switch off the phone and decide to go MIA just when we need these t-shirts the most. So
Sample was done.
Payment for the sample was done for both the masks and the t-shirt, because it's Corona. By the way, guys, wear your masks, sanitize, and social distance. Everything was done, but then when we had now decided to like go and finish up the process, she decided that she doesn't need us anymore. Service providers in Kenya, please. I don't know, I think we'll just have an episode about this, just advising service providers, even us when we get to that point in our lives, to just up their game when it comes to that.
For sure.
Everything, let me not even just talk about that, because we this was so last minute. But
shout out to Kassin wherever you are for coming through for us in 2 hours.
He made all this in 2 hours, and now we are here. Yeah, so Amira.
I'm jamming about how this episode is even being shot right now. So, there's a small component. If you guys are iPhone users, you know that the new iPhones, the more recent ones, they don't have the aux jack. You have to have an extension to plug into the aux. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so there's like a small missing piece that you put to plug into earphones, headphones, whatever. So we need that to shoot so you can hear us right now, like the way you're hearing us. Well, guess what? At some point, the piece went missing. And who was blamed? Me, because I had something to do with getting the piece. So I was blamed. My short-term memory was even being blamed. Hey, Amira, what have you done? We are throwing things all over the place. But after 1 hour, this small piece is in none other than Mr. George's pocket. George is our amazing editor, but it was in his pocket, and he made me go downstairs I don't know how many times I thought I was going to die because that jack is not ours. It belongs to my sister. Thank you for giving it to us. And I knew I was going to be hanged. Death penalty. Anyway, we have it now and we're able to continue, so great. It's December 31st, guys. Guys, we are done with 2020. Can you believe it? 2020, Imeisha, the year that everyone has been dreading, has been wanting to disappear. It's actually disappearing. Yeah. So if you're watching this, congratulations, because you made it through 2020. Whether sorted like us, whether omoka, you made it. So clap for yourselves. This episode is all about just taking a look back at the year. Taking a look back at what this year has meant, what the lessons we're taking forward, the highlights, and just saying a final goodbye to 2020 as we go into 2021. So guys, if we could sum up our 2020 in a year, whoa, 2020 was like 5 years. If we could sum up our 2020 in one word or one sentence, what would you say, Pauline?
I'd say mine has been a roller coaster. I think the highs have been highs and the lows have been low. In so many aspects. I mean, we started the year thinking, this is going to be my year. I knew I was already thinking about getting out of my job and trying to find something that I'm feeling more fulfilled than when you work in an NGO, funding. So funding was like, you wanted to get out. No, get out. Then we now got into getting into the relaxation mood and just trying to figure out everything and just chilling, I think. Then now the podcast, because now we pretty much had we weren't doing much, so we had a lot of time we could stay till 1 a.m. and just do everything. And so I can only use that, but we've had very quality time with the family, very quality time with your friends, because now it's not about if we are those people who like going out. It's more about inviting. A sentence.
Just continue, but a sentence. This is our talker, as you can see.
You are the talker, but anyway. So I've been told to cut it, so roller coaster. We can talk about it later.
So she has summed up the whole podcast for us. Abi?
I can describe mine as interesting. It's been a very interesting year in the sense of, I feel like 2020 was a God-given break. Life was moving too fast, and even if COVID has affected many, I feel like it was just a breather for people to just slow down and relax, and just figure out what's the next step after this. Because I mean, Pauline, you were stuck, and now you can proudly say that you've come out with a solution, and we thank God. I mean,
I think even for me, I would just say that 2020 was the year God forced me to face myself, because I'm such a people person, all over the place, up and about, and I was told, halt, stop right there. And you guys know me, I live outside, so I was forced to get to know myself, which has been a very deep experience. So I guess highlights na lowlights. Let's start with the lows and go to the highs, because 2020 has been very low. What were some of the low? I know you don't want to get too sad because there are no tissues around here, but lowlights, one or two, what are some of the things that we didn't really enjoy about this year? Let's go from worst to best. Leave the worst in the past. What are some of the lowlights of this year for you, Abi?
Frankly speaking, it was a financially low year.
Which?
Tunaomoka, lakini for now, bado Tumesota, we're getting there. At least tumeanza figure out chums. We've started figuring out ways, and personally I've started figuring out a way to just use my mind as an asset to build up my financial literacy and just even the financial bit itself.
But it was definitely a low year. Yeah. Hey, the year of Fuliza.
Funny enough, I've never Fuliza.
Funny enough, me either.
Must be nice.
Can't relate.
True. I think for me the lowlight was I'm not sure because we weren't tested, or rather I was tested way later, but my family got COVID. And it was like the first like in July when it was still fresh in Kenya. So I think being quarantined, because my dad is one who tested from like their workplace, being quarantined in the house, being in the same house with my dad, and knowing our family is a very close-knit family, like we just like hang out together and so on and so forth, having to like sanitize when you enter and just completely avoiding getting into their room, and also being in the house and trying not to tell people, because at that time there was quite a bit of stigma, because it was earlier on during the time, and we're just trying to be like discreet about it. That was definitely a low for me.
Yeah, I think same for me. We had COVID in October, as you guys know. My mom is asthmatic, and it was like a near-death kind of experience. So that in itself, COVID is real. Never downplay someone's experience, because it's not the same for everyone. And it's really real. We may think we're past it, but it's real. And I personally got COVID, and hats off to the essential workers. Prayers to everyone who's still dealing with it. Stay safe. That was definitely hard. Also, a lowlight for me was the process of my phone. It got spoiled. It took 30 days plus to be fixed, and it came back worse. And then I had to go and look for another place for it to be fixed, which was very annoying, because why do I take things to one service and they can't just give me what I need? And I was sorted. So the money for the phone, where is it? I'm still paying back for the phone, which wasn't even fixed at once, and I didn't have for 30 days. Guys know my phone had issues for a whole month, and was always dying everywhere. I even got lost with Pauline in
service providers in Kenya.
Service providers in Kenya, that's a whole other episode. Yeah. But on to more positive things. Highlights. What was your highlights, Pauline?
I think for me, one of the highlights was knowing that even if COVID was a financially low year, that our creativity could help us like make ends meet. I remember when we were just sitting with my mom. Well, we kind of set up a business, and when we had just finished setting it up, COVID happened, and it's a business that was very reliant on people. So it had to be shut down, and my mom and I are thinking, gosh, so now we've set it up, and we're just counting losses. But then we're like, we can't sit in the house the whole day. So we had to think on our feet, and we're like, what can we do to like give us money? So we started delivering groceries, and it was actually a fun experience. We really tried to be very cautious, especially because it was at the peak of COVID time, but we'd go to the market, very cautious, like very, very cautious, go to the market, get groceries. And my sister and I would do it. We'd go with my mom, then we'd come back and change. And now, because we know people were scared of going to the market and getting them, we deliver it to their doorsteps, and we actually made quite a bit of money. So just knowing that you can, even if things are not working out, you can easily think on your feet and get something to do easily, just to make ends meet, so to say, was quite a highlight for me.
Yeah, just being creative. This has definitely forced us to be creative. I think for me, my highlight is this podcast. Much as your forgetfulness gets on my nerves, and Abby always wanting to leave sometimes gets on my nerves. I could never live without you or have it any other way. I'm so grateful for this group. So this podcast has been definitely a highlight. Going to Githunguri has been definitely a highlight. So we had a road trip that one day we'll do an episode on. Taught us a lot about budgeting and friendships. But yeah, you guys have been one of my highlights for sure.
Amen.
So that was my highlight.
My highlight was definitely, I think, when going to Githunguri. That was definitely a fun time. I think we should do an episode on that. And losing keys. Thanks, Pauline, for losing the keys. And losing the keys in Githunguri. We almost slept outside. But I mean, we got the keys. We slept well. You've forgotten about my cooking. Amira has amazing cooking, by the way.
As much as
Somebody
some people don't
should
want to
marry
admit
her
it.
already. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on swiftly. Moving on swiftly, guys. Sorry. Moving on swiftly, guys. What are some lessons that we're taking into 2021? One main lesson that you're taking. I know that usually last year this time, so many of us were like, 2020 is gonna be my year. We thought that 2019 was trash. We're on to better things in 2020, and then 2020 hit us left, right, and center, and boom. So my question to you guys is, knowing that mentality we had in 2019 going into 2020, what is one lesson you're taking? Because 2021 is also unpredictable. There's no guarantee of really anything.
Yeah.
But what's one thing you're taking from 2020 and you're just like running with it? Like I'm going with this.
My biggest lesson for this year has been doing. I think I'll just put it in a quote, in some sort of a quote. Do it afraid. And for this I mean, don't do it because don't stop doing it because you're afraid. Do it while you're afraid. I think this podcast has been just that. I am the technical person in this group, and I hate being in front of a camera, and this has been the biggest struggle for me, actually, being like here and talking to the camera and just like that, but being afraid of doing it. And I'm like, okay, we are really trying to impact the world with the things that we've been learning. And aside from that, also just talking to people. As much as I don't want you've gotten an opportunity, this is a good opportunity for a job. I mean, I'm afraid to do it, but what's the worst that could happen? I know, let me do it then. Let me do it even if I'm afraid. So I think that has been the biggest lesson for me this year.
And even just to add, most of the most wealthy people, the most richest people that you want to be like, they take risks and they do things whilst they're afraid. If you're always playing it safe, your money will also just be safe money. Safe money. If you want the big monies, no risk, no rewards.
True.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think what I embraced mostly from 2020 was time was given to us by God. Like, it was just His love language for us. And I think the biggest lesson is, I mean, you can never predict life. It's never on your timeline. So just embrace the time that you have at that moment, because you never know, it will never be replayed back. So enjoy it.
For sure. I think for me, just on the financial side, one of the lessons I'm taking is that I am a brand, and the lesson that I would even give you is that you are a brand. You are an asset. You yourself, I myself am an asset. I feel like before the pandemic, I used to do so many things to help so many other people and their brands and take my talents to other people, and I wouldn't even use that on myself. But this year has shown me that I am talented, I am a brand. I don't need someone to rubber stamp me and confirm that to me. Before, I would be so dependent on another person's approval, like, oh yeah, you can do this. I would need somebody to confirm to me that I'm talented at this. But I've become more confident, and I've realized that I am a brand and I have something to offer, and I need to protect that. So yeah, and this is a brand also. Yeah, so value yourself. You are an asset. Sindio?
Yeah, kabisa.
So, without further ado, let me sound like a Kenyan. So, without further ado, before we close out, we are introducing a new segment called Tumesota Tips or Tumesota Challenges, because we don't want you to just come in and just watch us talking as girls, bantering. Yes, that's well and good, but we want you to leave with something substantial, a call to action, something we can all do together, because we are on this journey together. So, as we go into the new year, it's the last day. Give us a tip, Miss Abby, Miss Organizer, Miss Disobedient Budgeter. Give us a tip. It's coming from her today. So yeah.
The tip will be, we need to get budgeting books.
Hey.
January is coming.
Hey.
We're entering that month where it looks like it has
January.
100 days.
Wow.
So we need to get budgeting books and find out as much as we can, and try and also budget from day one. Plan your money, and we'll revisit
This later.
very soon.
Our teacher.
Yeah. I think just to add, the concept of budgeting is something we all don't like,
Yeah.
but don't necessarily feel like you have to be like those people in banks, like an accountant. You have I don't know how many spreadsheets, but just start being open to that idea. Look for YouTube videos. Get a friend, get 2 friends. Start talking about your budget, because you may think, I have a salary 50K a month, I'm guaranteed. Then boom, something happens again, and that job is gone. So use what you have now. The better you plan and are wise with your money, the better you can even use it for investments, projects. So just start, and we are definitely gonna revisit that later. But that's all for now. Oh, okay. We are sorry.
And budgeting doesn't mean you become a mean to yourself.
Amen.
Don't become mean to yourself, even if
So I
it's
can
that
buy clothes
month.
finally.
No, Amira. Your clothes you'll have
And
to
nails.
wait
I've
until
not had
next
nails for a whole
December.
year. I've not had nails for a whole
Your
year.
clothes
And
will
you
wait
know I love
until
my
the next
nails.
December. But anyway, budgeting doesn't mean you become mean to yourself, even if it's that month. I mean, whenever you can slot in something small for yourself, appreciate yourself. You've worked hard.
Amen.
You've made it into the new year.
And if you want to
You'll
gift
make
us
it
with some
rather.
things, I need nails, guys.
God, Amira.
Just shameless plug. Also, guys, we're going into the year. COVID is still rampant. We have masks and sanitizers. Go to our social media at the Tumesota podcast on Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube, and Google Podcasts, and you can find the relevant links to find where you can get these things. Please stay safe. Please social distance. Atakama, you're going for enjoyment. Please enjoy safely.
Yeah.
We want to see you in 2021. We want to still be with you. Even us, when we're here like this, masks are on until we are on this couch. We don't play about COVID. We are not playing with COVID. And Mr. Koro better go away wherever he is. That's all for today. We need to go and do our countdowns and our fireworks and our, we need to go and enjoy for the new year before 2021 also hits us with its surprises. If there's anything we've learned, the curveballs are still coming. The roller coaster is still going. But Tumesota, lakini.
Tunaomoka.
And from us to you, Happy New Year.
Blessed 2021.
And see you in episode 3. Bye.
Bye.